You missed some important news from the LGBTQ plus community this week. To ensure you are current, we are recapping that important news. Here's what you may have missed.
White House says attacks in America are dangerous to LGBTQ plus America. The White House on Friday commended what it described as hateful and dangerous attacks on LGBTQ plus people as Republicans in various U.S. states pursue laws targeting the community's rights. Speaking to reporters, White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre pointed to Republican calls to ban gay marriage through legislation in Iowa and Tennessee, as well as moves to limit protections for same-sex couples in Florida. In a press briefing, Jean-Pierre said, open quote, in Florida, just Florida alone, Republicans introduced 20 bills on a single day to roll back the rights of LGBTQ plus community, end quote. She explained that more than 450 anti-LGBTQ bills have been introduced in U.S. states and pointed to a proposed Florida bill that would give the state the right to separate transgender children from their parents. Jean-Pierre said the Biden administration will continue to call out attacks on the LGBTQ plus community. Republicans in various states have pursued a wave of laws directed at LGBTQ plus people, limiting transgender participation in sports, access to gender-affirming medical care, and the teaching of subjects related to gender identity or sexual orientation. Tennessee lawmakers passed legislation last month restricting drag performances in public or in front of children. West Virginia's Attorney General on Thursday said the state will ask the U.S. Supreme Court to allow enforcement of a law banning transgender athletes from female sports teams. This is all just a little bit overwhelming for me, being a Black transgender woman and growing up into society where I really haven't had any issues, no major issues. Right. To see the young children, the young trans children that are going to have to deal with this is just completely ridiculous.
I was just going to say, it's interesting to me that you make that observation, because the obvious reply to that observation is it's not you that has changed. Mm-hmm. You were always this person. Mm-hmm. You were always there. You were always visible in front of us. Mm-hmm. It's not you that changed. It's the people that are making these decisions that have changed, especially in the last couple of years. If that is true, which I absolutely think it's true, you ask yourself, why did they change? And the reason that they have changed, the obvious conclusion of what we've seen in 3 consecutive defeats of the GOP, not winning the presidential overall public vote in 20 years since 2004, is a situation where they're trying to win at all costs. And where they have to pitch to win at all costs is their base. And this is red meat for their base, to hold on to 40% of the vote by sowing hate. So it wasn't you that changed. It was those that thought, wait, we can win an election and raise money and have power by turning on you in our hate. That's what I think we're really watching.
Well, once again, Florida and its Fourth Reich Republicans, it's in the spotlight for the worst possible reason. And to be in such banjo-picking company as Iowa, Tennessee, and West Virginia is really disheartening.
Can we give props also to Karine Jean-Pierre for being a Black queer woman and having to be up there like Wonder Woman with her bracelets, ching, 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 and doing it with such grace, okay, and being such a wonderful representation for all us women. So thank you very much for that. And with all these crazy bills, I feel like it's like throwing pasta at the wall and see what sticks, right? But it only takes one to kill our kids.
Right.
It's a scary time.
Can I also point out, let's give some props to the Washington Blade. We sort and source a lot of this story. The Washington Blade, in addition, history is going on right before our very eyes. And I want to point out, thank you for giving us the opportunity to focus on that. Karine Jean-Pierre, first Black, lesbian, meaning LGBT representation ever as the White House press secretary, doing those briefings every day in combination with a reporter, Mike Laval, who's in the room, and others for the Washington Blade.
Isn't he the only
reporting
LGBTQ?
Only LGBT. So on both sides of that White House press room, this is going on, where in between them, you have this really radical voice at Fox News just picking and poking and poking and poking. And to your point, instead of her minimizing it, instead of her ignoring it, she reaches out and slaps him right in the mouth. It's a great time
We're lucky.
for our LGBTQ community. Keep watching the only television news in the world from our LGBTQ plus community and stay informed on everything that is important for and about our diverse LGBTQ plus community.